bottom on bottom, a great poet said this once. I got trauma. You're so sick. All because you wanted to get for an hour. We call that the gay audacity. Welcome to the Poison Touch Advice Hour, the podcast where West Orange's best homosexuals give you the best and worst advice for all of life's predicaments. I am joined this month by an old Judy, someone from my past. We ran an ice cream store together. We went to high school together. We went to quite a few college parties together whenever I was back in Jersey.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And then we disappeared from each other's lives until one fateful day, our good friend Jasper was like, "Hey, can I invite my friend to your Discord so we can play Pokemon Unite together?" I said, "Sure." And lo and behold, MikeyyyJ Leo joined the Discord call, and I said, "Wait a second, I know this girl."
Oh my God, what a small world! Hi,
I know, isn't that crazy? That story is like my favorite story to tell. It's so funny. I love it.
I'm like, where do we begin? Like, Homecoming was like iconic from obviously West Orange. IMS. I had to think about stuff. I know Shrek the Musical. And that one time you cut my hair in your house.
Wow, I remember. So in high school, I used to cut hair, y'all. I fancied myself a little barber. And my favorite memory with Mikey so far, we were at a Sweet 16. I can't remember who's Sweet 16, or maybe it was a Quince. I don't remember, but we had a dance battle. To dance, you know, parenthetical ass by Nicki Minaj and Big Sean. Yeah,
were we in middle school?
Dance. No, we were not in middle school together, but we were at this either this Quince or this Sweet 16. So it was somewhere in early high school, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I remember dance battling David, and that was a mistake.
That is a mistake.
Insta loss.
Yeah, imagine a high schooler with the dancing talent of Michael Jackson, and that would be one such David.
I got one-shotted.
Let's open up with your let's talk about your history of Pokemon.
Girl, oh my gosh, it's so hard to, I don't even know like where to gauge. Basically, like elementary school, I used to always love Pokemon. That was like my thing. I remember like watching the show, having cards, and then one fateful day, my first game was Pokemon Sapphire. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't get enough, and I just kept going from there. And it was so bad, my obsession with Pokemon, that I would give out Pokemon quizzes in elementary school because my friends also like Pokemon, but not as much as I did. And one day I got in trouble because my teacher was like, "You guys are passing notes." I'm like, "Girl, I'm giving out a Pokemon quiz. I have to grade it." Like, it was so embarrassing. What's even more embarrassing is, remember Total Drama Island?
Yes.
So there was a community way back in the day that did Total Pokemon Island.
I'm screaming.
But with plushies, I don't know why I'm saying this, but with plushies.
Okay.
So people would like, you know, I talk with them and like do challenges and shit. I would film that stuff. And when I tell you thousands of views, that is my secret. I don't
from
think
like
I've
an elementary or like middle schooler.
No, elementary. Could you imagine what if I said high school? No.
You know what? Well, I wouldn't judge. Oh,
I would, but
I was writing fanfic in high school. I'm proud of it.
I feel like there's a line that we cross, and I feel like, you know, making plushies talk is probably crossing that, but but I would do it again because it was so fun. And like, you know, making someone like a villain and like assigning like different personalities to my plushies was like really like puss.
You know, I feel like that's come back in a big way though, because you know, people do those things on TikTok with like the little Sylvain friends, you know, like the little animals.
Yeah.
So I really feel like it's come back. I think this is your moment.
Of people like doing like pool balls on like a treadmill and like, which pool ball is gonna win? Everyone's like, oh my God, number 2, number 7, number 15. I'm like, oh my gosh, I should just do this with Pokemon. Exactly. I would make so much money.
Exactly. And they're always like, number 2 is so cunty. Like the personality. Like you like that red ball, she's the one, you know.
Well, 2 is a blue ball because 2 was my favorite pool ball. I don't know why I signed so much meaning to like an animal. I signed meaning to too many inanimate objects. King Dakar just got
human.
taken down and I cried. Real tears.
Oh, see, we've been talking about this for a couple weeks now, and you've been like giving me these King Dakar updates.
I know. I care more about things that don't exist over real people.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You also are the reason why you even know Jasper, right? Is because you're streaming now on Twitch primarily, right?
Yeah. So well, that's not. Well, I used to do Pokemon Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl Wi-Fi battles. I just never posted consistently. So I did a Twitter account back when it was Twitter. And then I just so happened to also play Pokemon Unite, but I found that the Pokemon Unite community was more active than like the Wi-Fi battle community. And I don't know, like Jasper and I just followed each other and we became friends ever since. And the stream, I've always wanted to stream, and my friends were streaming and they helped get me into it. And that's how she was born.
Period.
We're
going to take a quick break.
Sure.
And we're going to get straight into this advice because we got some mess. And I really want to make sure we have time to kind of get through all of it today.
I'm so ready.
We're back from our break and we have some good questions today. We have a lot to go over. And, without further ado, let's not dilly, let's not dally.
Let's dive right in, mate.
Let's dive right in, babes. First up, we have a question from Diamond Puss. It's a general advice question. And they write, "Hi, so I've hooked up with this guy a few times who we will call Anthony. And it's been really good every time. He lives in my hometown, which is 3 hours north of me. And, well, since it's the holidays, I spent a little more time." This was sent a little bit before this month, but things get pushed around due to scheduling conflicts. Alas, the holidays are over, but it was the holidays when she said this. So I spent a little more time there during Thanksgiving week, and we actually hung out for a bit. It was amazing. We spent a day together and we clicked so well. We were just doing cute stuff all day. We cuddled, talked, introduced each other to our favorite spots, and had an amazing time together. We found out we have a lot in common. We were so affectionate, and it was such a shock because all we've ever done is have sex. Well, before I went back home, I asked him if he would ever do long distance, and he said no because he's too much of a physical person, which I get because same TBH. I was okay with that, but since I left, he sent me a paragraph saying, "I'm sorry, but I don't like you like that, and I don't think we should hook up again. I'm not trying to date anyways, but I think we're better off as friends." It caught me so off guard because he doesn't really respond to me. He's become super distant. It doesn't make sense that he says he doesn't like me because all his actions prior showed otherwise. I didn't think such a small question would ruin the dick I was getting. Damn. Also, I should add that I never told him I was actually considering moving back home, so it wouldn't have been long distance, but I didn't want to bring that up since I wasn't 100%. Anthony seemed so sweet and we really hit it off, but honestly, I really just want to keep having sex, but because TMI, he's the only guy to ever do it so good, I cry. Send help. Send help. Oh my goodness.
God. The dick make you cry?
If there was somebody back in West Orange, what's your favorite spot that you would bring them to? West Orange our hometown for the girls at home.
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. Probably like the reservation, like overlooking the city. Oh, yeah. I've definitely had like some like wild memorial. Like. As I was just gonna say, I had some crazy car sex, like the 9/11 memorial.
I was screaming.
Oh my god.
That is killing me. That's the 9/11 memorial sex. Oh!
Oh shit. Oh my god. The way I would forget that it was a memorial there, I'm just like, oh my god, it's so pretty here. And anyway, that or you're saying like just to like bring someone around. I like the reservation, like the 2 mile walk with like the paddle boats. I bought some people there. I think those are two really really like good spots.
I'm bringing the girls. If you are ever in West Orange, New Jersey, go to Mr. Lee's Bodega. It's down the hill. I don't remember the exact street. I don't know any of the streets in our hometown. Point is, you want to go there. You want to get yourself a Taylor ham, egg, and cheese on a roll.
True. Salt, don't go to Big Box.
Ketchup.
Right.
All the shenanigans. Mm-hmm. Get it, and then get yourself a little juice or something.
Kim Sushi, though, if you like sushi.
Oh, Kim Sushi 8.
Mm-hmm.
Kim Sushi is pretty good.
I still eat there. So good.
Wow, I gotta go back home. It's been like years, I feel like. But on to Diamond Puss. Puss. He went to his hometown, had some shenanigans with a man, And at the end, I think this is kind of where things start to spiral, right? Is he goes, would you ever do long distance? After one day, I think asking that might be it's a bit much. For some people, I think I understand the sentiment that he was saying it. And yet I do feel like with how skittish some gay men are, that might be like
right. I mean,
bells.
it sounds like they were like having some, you know, meetups prior to, but like I think it's always good to test the waters and just be like, you know, if you're getting to know someone, especially if you're cuddling after sex and you're like, you know, really like deep diving, like having those conversations, I always think it's good to just like take a nice step on the ice before it cracks and shatters. Now you're like under the ice trying to find your way out. Is like, you know, talking about like, oh, like, you know, are you a relationship person, like this and that, but like making it very nonchalant. I think going in for like the kill, like, do you do long distance is
that part.
Yeah, a little too forward, which I mean, you know, at least you express, you know, you were yourself. So no harm, no foul. But yeah, I can see some alarms because some people get scared like immediately. 100%. I've been there and it's happened to me too.
Yeah, I think instead of being like, do you do long distance? It's more like you said, those like more nonchalant type questions like, oh, are you seeing anyone right now? You know, especially in like a hometown, like, are there a lot of gay people around? You know what I mean? Things like that.
Right.
I feel like that's always a good, like, especially if you're like in a smaller hometown, you're like, oh, I don't know, you know, like, are there gay people around here? You know, just like little things like that like kind of like just to get to know him better outside of obviously a sexual context. So that seems like most of what y'all are doing aside, you know, I mean, you went to some places and stuff, but yeah, I think coming out straight out the gate, you do long distance, that scares some people to the point where they're like, they start backing off. You know what I mean?
I will always say too, like there is plenty of dick like out there. You know, I feel like because you develop this connection, it sounds like you do have a crush on this person. I think when you have that intimate connection, it's always going to be better than just like, you know, a non-bottom looking for, you know, to be a cum dump and walk right in. Like it's always going to be more meaningful and valuable.
He made the man cry,
tears,
baby. That is crazy.
But I think this is also a good lesson in boundaries as well too. Like, you know, what are you comfortable with, you know, doing with someone that's not yours yet? Like maybe the cuddling after, into like when I'm in a newly open relationship right now, I tell people friends and fun, I'm not looking, but I don't really do a lot of the intimate stuff. I don't want to give people the wrong idea. I don't want people getting the wrong idea. It's just, you know, so if you are having this experience where like maybe I got a little too close with someone, maybe that's your boundary now. And that's okay. Like everyone has to learn their boundaries, because I used to get really close and attached with people, but they were not looking for that. That's just something that they do. They like to cuddle after sex. They like to show me around and go to their favorite spot. Like I've taken those as signs, and for someone else that might not be a sign, you know?
Exactly. Kind of like your mileage may vary. Cause I know, I know some people, I am someone, I'll probably take you, I'll like recommend you stuff and I might take you to like a spot. Right. But I know a couple people who are like, and to me, that's just like normal, but I could see how somebody would read into that as like, oh, this is like a date type thing. And I'm like, no, girl, I'm trying to put you on like my favorite, you know, my favorite Puerto Rican spot in the city, or like, you know, like, yeah. So totally. It really is, your mileage may vary. And I guess for this guy, you know, I don't know how small your hometown is, right? But it does kind of sound like a small town gay got a little too scared of something happening, right?
That part.
That being said, I don't know, how much is he not responding is the question, because then it's like, if you're ever back home, you're like, hey girl, I'm here. Pull that dick out, you know? And you got to make it clear you're here for you want the sex part, you know?
Right. I think just go about your life, status quo, like live your life, girl. You'll find someone else. The best way to get over someone is get under someone. Yeah.
Exactly.
And, you know, they always come crawling back, and you have to decide if that's what you want to do based off of like how they treated you in that moment. So
that part, honestly, I would just like let him cool off for a bit, you know, like don't message him. And then if you're ever back home for the holidays again, we're what, in March? What's the next big holiday people go home for? You're home for Easter.
I was going to say St. Patrick's Day.
No, who the hell goes home for St. Patrick's Day?
Oh my God, not St. Patty's Day.
I'm dead. Yeah, you go home for Easter, and you say you want to play hide the egg. You know?
not the chocolate egg.
Yeah. Oh, well, let's hope not. Let's hope it's not a chocolate egg.
With some marshmallow. Anyway, no, but also to my last point is that he might have also had some distance. Maybe it might be a beneficial thing. Maybe you guys do need a little distance. Maybe there does need to be a little bit of a cool down, like you said. It might not be malicious, you know? Yeah, I don't have all the context, but
he may have been like, we got pretty close really fast. And I'm like,
yeah, let's just cool down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
if you have Diamond Puss, he's coming back at some point.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Miss Diamond Puss and he had you crying and y'all really had that chemistry, he might still come back for more.
Right.
And I'm sure you'll say yes. And when that happens, right back in, sister.
Exactly.
we want the updates.
Exactly.
We want the updates. I love the updates. I had a really weird dream yesterday. Before we get into this, I just have to bring this up.
I love weird dreams. Tell me.
I had a dream. So my boyfriend and I are currently in the process of planning our next trip to Japan. For October. Why did I have a dream that solely took place with me using one of those like super powered bidets in Japan? That was the full dream.
Oh my God. But
that was it. It was me. I walk into this bathroom. It's a really nice bathroom. You know, I do my business, and then I proceed to use the Ass Blaster 5000. It had heated water. You could adjust the position of the stream. I was like, this is luxury.
So, but was there one when you went the first time?
When we were in, because we were in Tokyo, because our first trip we went to Thailand, but we were in Japan for a day. Mm-hmm. There was one with heated water, but not with a position thing.
Mm-hmm. Why do I feel like
the bidets are out there?
Why do I feel like gay people have this universal experience with like jetted water, like hot tubs, bidets? Because I know I sure had my experience with a hot tub once, or twice,
the hot tub,
or 3 times for that matter. Remember Gina, my best friend Gina from high school? Girl, she had a hot tub.
I'm screaming.
Let me just tell you, I always sat by the jet.
Tooted up, tooted up by the jet.
Tooted and booted. I had my spot.
I'm screaming. Wasn't there a girl who like had her like intestines pulled out by like or like she got prolapsed or something by like a pool? You know, like
I think that's from West Orange. I'm like,
no. Just like in general, I feel like I remember hearing this story. Unless it's one of those wives' tales that like they just tell you to scare you.
I don't know, but I've heard. I don't want to say how I know, but I've heard that can actually be a thing.
That's terrifying.
So if you have orifices, it's best not to go near very high pressure waters.
Yeah.
Not
prolapse. Don't prolapse yourself in a pool this summer. It's getting warm. You got to remind the girls.
I know. We kind of get a little crazy when it gets warm. You know, It's 6 degrees in New Jersey, and people are driving like crazy. They don't know how to act because everyone's coming out from their house.
Over here in Chicago, and you know people are already going. I'm thinking, I'm like, what am I gonna do tonight? Like, it's kind of warm out.
I know. I already have plans. Like I was sunbathing before this.
I love that.
I'm usually inside, like playing Pokemon Unite. Now I'm uniting with the trees and the birds and the bees.
Oh,
crazy!
The birds and the bees. Speaking of the birds and the bees, this next question is from Baby Boy Toy. It's a sex and love question. Ooh. And they write, I had this friends with benefits that I used to hook up with on an almost weekly basis. Everything was good until he left the country to go on vacation. A year goes by, he hits me up telling me he's back in the country. But also in the same conversation, he tells me that he's in a relationship with another man and they're married, quote unquote. I express happiness for him and ask when I can visit him and his new partner. He starts to act strange when I ask him that question by telling me that his partner hates me, even though I've never seen, met, or talked to them. I'm sorry, that is so bonkers to me. It's crazy. And then proceeded to ask if the partner is being abusive towards them because this isn't the same guy that I called a friends with benefit. Getting back to the story, I showed up unexpectedly to his place because this is messy, diva. I showed up unexpectedly to his place because I was very concerned about him and wanted answers. He saw me outside and texted me that it wasn't a good time to visit. I wanted to know why, and he blocked me for a month. I was mad and hurt because I thought of them as a friend that also have sex. That That is what friends with benefit means.
Right.
He's hit me up a couple times to have sex with him, and I visited once while his partner wasn't there. They have an open relationship, I found out via Grindr. Am I dumb for entertaining him, or should I continue with being friends with benefits?
First of all, what in the 90-Day Fiance Lifetime movie special is this?
This is insane. I love when y'all write this shit in. Like, y'all are out here living lives, I tell you.
Like, the fact that we also like posted this in my Discord too, I'm like, which one of y'all what is happening? Right. So it's giving like between the marriage in 1 year, all of a sudden now he somehow hates you, showing up unannounced and still fucking with this girl.
That's the part that gets me. So, okay, we can't really speak for the husband, right? Because we only have the sender's side of the story.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't know exactly the reasons why they hate them or something. They've never seen, met, or talked to them. We don't know what the friends with benefit has said about this friend. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're going to speak primarily about baby boy toys reactions here. I know y'all are friends with benefits, right? I don't know how close the friendship is. But if someone goes, I'm married, and I go, oh my God, when can I like come and see y'all or something? Which I guess is like a weird way to say it, or maybe it's like, how else do you phrase that? You know what I mean? Or could it?
Yeah, like
I guess you could
meet up one day
or get coffee or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then he goes, my husband hates you. My partner hates you. And then you go, are you being abused? That is wild.
Does he have a gun to your head right now? Like,
literally, are you being abused?
Like,
you're being abused. You're bi.
You're done. I don't know. I just feel like this whole thing is a twister. And if I'm being so honest, I felt like from the jump, if someone said that, I would have been like very off-put, like, oh, I'm sorry, like, did I overstep somehow? Like, you know, let's fill in the details. But like now we just have like this Mad Libs like story that's just has just formed.
It feels very like disjointed at points. I'm wondering how we get from point A to point B to point C. You know what I mean?
Right. Because it went from like, okay, now is a really bad time to, okay, now you're over there instead of like, you know, watching a movie and eating food. Now you're making a movie and he's eating you. So I'm like, this has jumped from point A to point B, and now we're at X, Y, and Z. I don't know. I would say for your own safety and sanity, get out.
You don't know how crazy this husband is.
Right. I don't know. I don't like anything about this right now.
The red flags.
Again, I would just be like, off put.
There's a line of red flags down every road as you drive from your house to his house, and and not just from like, I'm talking from everybody, because why are you showing up outside this man's house unexpectedly?
Also that, like, are you hitting every red light on the way there? It's a sign. It's a sign.
I think this goes back to kind of the question, the point that you made for the last question about boundaries. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Always coming back.
And it kind of seems like everybody here is breaking boundaries or has no boundaries. Because the husband is definitely breaking boundaries by like looking into you and making like, you know, keeping such like a tight grip on his husband, your friends with benefits, which is weird to have that tight of a grip on someone if you're even in an open relationship, because you would think if you're in an open relationship, you're already kind of down with the fact of being like, I don't own this person, you know, your pleasure is still my pleasure, you know, we choose each other at the end of the day, all that stuff that comes with being, you know, in an open relationship and being poly. It sounds like this person, I don't want to speculate and be like, are they actually open? But it would not surprise me.
True.
It would not surprise me, just given how the husband is acting.
Every time the lights go out, it's a sign. Every time the lights go out here, it's a sign.
Yeah. Oh, Spirit's delivering a message.
I know, girl. It's the husband.
I'm getting a message from Spirit. It is. We are two girls from New Jersey. The Long Island's media might be channeling through us. You know, the tri-state area.
It's weird New Jersey. It's weird New Jersey, girl.
It is. Well, there's more I wanted to talk about here because there's so much in this. Stop showing outside people's house. Stop.
Yeah. I had that happen to me once, and I was very turned off by it. And my friend had to play drunk and sick, and I was like, I gotta go. And it turned out years later, I ended up dating him. And now we're in a 5.5-year relationship. But what does that say about me?
Well, don't tell it to me, boy, because now he's gonna continue to step outside people's house.
But in the moment, I wasn't okay with it.
In the moment.
But you know what? I actually found out why he did it, and it was a different story. But anyway, it's not about me; it's about you.
We live and we learn.
I mean,
we listen, but
true.
We don't judge.
Exactly. True. But if you're friends with benefits, also, I don't know. Again, I will not know the full context. I don't know if you became friends with benefits through Grindr, if you've just known this person for years, and you decide to be friends with benefits. Like, how extensive is this friendship? Where it's like, okay, I'm okay with you coming to my house just in case something happens. Yeah. There's a lot of boundaries here that are being potentially broken, and probably are being broken.
Yeah, I think this is, like I said, we can't really talk to the other two people involved in this story, but we could talk about you. And baby boy, so I think this is a good chance. I get that you're like worried about your friend, but you can't like force your friend to tell you if he's being abused or anything. You just kind of have to hope that your friend has the trust in you, and you just have to be there kind of like as a support system, be like, all this sex shit aside, I care about your well-being. I'm here for you if you ever need to talk, and just be there with open arms rather than go, are you being abused? And then show up outside his house, because that is a way to put the husband on red flag, and then he's gonna really keep this guy away from you. And it's a way to like even frighten your friend a bit. You know what I mean?
And if you are still gonna show up and fuck around with your friends with benefits, maybe don't do it at his house, because in the off chance this man comes home early, is on lunch break, then it will become a Lifetime movie. And I will personally pay for your motel, hotel, Holiday Inn, whatever you need. Just stay safe.
Yeah, and don't let the husband know where your car is parked.
Right.
I'll bust the windows at your car. Exactly, because you playing with fire, girl.
Right.
You are playing with fire. Be safe. Give us an update. Let us know more. I am more curious about this. Like, I want to know why the husband doesn't like you. I want to know why you're still fucking with this man. Is the dick that good? There's dick everywhere. Are you fucking both of them? That might be the perfect way to just squash all this beef.
I know. Wait, yeah, if they're actually open, like, hello?
Yeah. Come on, play together? Question mark? Boom. So yeah, let us know. I want to go over next to Poke. It's a sex and love question. It's a short one, but I think we can still talk about some stuff here. They write, I found out my husband cheated on me and I'm struggling to get over it. We've tried therapy, but I don't know if he made a mistake or if it's who he is. I want to start out. I am detail oriented. I am a Virgo. I need you to give me a story. And I know you are struggling. You're having a real bad day. And I'm sorry if I make it worse. You need to give me details. You need to give me details, Diva. Details. I need as many details as you can give without giving away anyone's identity. You know what I mean? I want to know, how long has the marriage been? What are the details surrounding the cheating? Has he been making amends? What actions have y'all been taking aside from therapy? Why do you think this might be who he is, or why do you think it might be a mistake? Have y'all had conversation? Do you have kids? You know, like there's so much that we're not getting here that I am desperately needing, because that's how we give you the advice, right? But we can talk about cheating for a bit. Let's talk about cheating.
Let's talk about cheating. So you're a Virgo, right?
Yes.
Meanwhile, I'm an Aries. I'd be like, okay, I will bust the windows at your car.
Yes.
Yes. The thing is, though, I have a lot of feelings about cheating. I think there's a narrative, a very specific narrative that goes around on social media about cheaters, cheating, that once a cheater, always a cheater, this and that. Like, no one can ever really love you if they cheat on you. I don't buy that. I think someone can still love you if they cheat, just because, and again, this is my own opinion, you don't have to agree, but I think cheating has become so, and maybe not has, maybe it's always been common, but it's common in a lot of relationships. And with social media evolving, everything is at our fingertips and does not make things easier. I think it's hard to have difficult conversations. I think that when you have something bad that happens in your relationship, it's, you know, the only way that you get better is going through those really rough patches. And you know your man best. No one else does. Your friends don't, your family don't. The people online spreading this narrative, I mean, I'm just saying from what I see about cheating online, like they don't know your man. So only you can make that decision. Like, is he still the same person that I fell in love with at the start? What is he doing to make you comfortable? Is he checking in with you? Has he made any solutions to make you feel more comfortable? Because that's what you need. If you need to feel comfortable, that's what you got to do. And, you know, establish boundaries. It'll always come back to boundaries. Do you need to share locations? Do you need to have this like nightly check-in before you go to bed? Like, hey, like, what's going on? Is there anything that like we need to be doing or talking about? I think that if something has caused a rift like that, like it usually means that there's something more below the surface that needs to be like talked about. And I'm not trying to say that your relationship is over, of course, but I do think this is an opportunity for y'all to maybe start over and try again and build yourself up. Or you might learn something and just be like, you know what, I'm really not okay with this. You hurt me bad. I can't get over it. Maybe I can't do this. And that's only you can make that decision.
Because cheating, even more so than like, more than anything else, cheating is a breach of trust, right? It's a breach of the agreement that the two of you have entered, whatever that agreement may be. Whether you're in a closed relationship, an open relationship, a gay relationship, a straight relationship, you know, whatever it is, cheating is a breach of trust. And in that is where the two of you have to work together. Getting back someone's trust is probably like the hardest thing you could ever do, right?
Absolutely.
So this is really the time for y'all to be having those conversations and really assess if this is something that you want to continue to move forward with. You know, I think cheating can sometimes, not all the time, be like a symptom of something else. You know, like were y'all misunderstanding each other before, and then as a result of that, you kind of drifted apart, and that led to, you know, him stepping outside and, you know, getting it from someone else, or, you know, there's like all types of stuff. I think the biggest thing, right, is why, for me, right, anytime that there's been like a cheating thing, it's less about like, oh no, you went and fucked someone else. I'm like, I don't give a shit. You know, the important part, I don't give a shit. Fuck whoever.
Right.
I just feel bad that you didn't, I feel hurt that you didn't trust me enough to come to me first. We could have talked about it. If you say you want to fuck other people, just come to me and tell me that. We could do that. That's no problem, you know?
Right.
That is no problem. But yeah, it's that breach of trust of why didn't you feel comfortable enough to come to me to address whatever the problem is, and then, you know, decide to go on your own and figure that out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing too. I feel like when you have something like that, infidelity is always a tough conversation because, you know, I think it also damages self-esteem a lot too. Like I hate to say this, but I've been on both sides of it where, you know, it's happened to me and I've done it to someone else. There I'll say, I was young and I'm still young and learning. But I can also say like with confidence too, I never did it to like, because I never loved the person, and the person that did it to me, like I knew that they also loved me and because they were trying so hard to like be with me and this and that. But like it hurts regardless. And it hurts knowing that you also hurt someone. But you have to work on it. That's the only thing you can do is just like from his standpoint, he has to own that shit and take accountability. And if he's not, that's another red flag. And you just try and grow from it.
Mm-hmm. I want to know more. So definitely, you know, write in with more details and through that we can give you more specific advice rather than just kind of like general thoughts and musings about cheating. Because it is such a difficult conversation and there's so much that goes into it. People cheat for a variety of reasons. So yeah, we right back in. Diva. Give us the whole shenan. And honestly,
and girl, best of luck too.
It might even help you kind of like work through your feelings on it a bit. Just like writing it all on paper. Don't be afraid to write super long shit because I will trim as needed. But I know some people have definitely written in and then be like, it honestly just helped to like write it down. Like sometimes it's like journaling. It's journaling, except it also just makes its way onto a public platform. But it is 100% anonymous. So I am the people's journal. I am the people's journal. We are going to move on to our last question for the day, because after this, we're going to get into our nasty plots. And I know you got quite a few pet peeves, so that nasty plot's going to be a little longer today, right? Mm-hmm. Our last question for today is centipedes in my vagina? It's a general advice question. And they write, I'm with someone and we've been dating for a long time and our lease is about to renew, but our relationship is in a rocky spot. Do we break it off before the lease starts or try to work on a relationship, like give it one more year? Is it tough?
Again, detail, like how rocky are we talking? Like, how rocky? Did he cheat on you? Exactly. Is his CPAP machine at night too loud and you got to pull the cord on that shit? Is he putting the dishes next to the sink and not in the sink? Girl, that's subtweeting my roommate. But like how rocky are we talking? Because I'm telling you right now, I personally would not bind my relationship to a contract, because if things are really bad and they go south and now you are bound to this lease, and you never know when relationships break off, sometimes you see a very nasty side of people that you never expected to see, and people will act out. Like, I've heard horror stories of like ex-couples living together, and like now one person's bringing over other people just to spite the other person, and now you got to live with it. And it's like, what do you do? And now you're living with resentment. Like, like horror stories. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I would say if you are unsure, do not subject yourself to a year of misery. Maybe you take a break in different venues, and at least you guys will have the relationship if you do last. Where now, instead of like, coexisting, you visit each other and you kind of just learn to work for each other again. And, again, I think that comes back to like working on your relationship. That's how I see it, but I don't know. Don't get stuck.
Not seeing each other every day will do wonders for your relationship.
Oh my God, I know.
It really will. I know. And it is a hard conversation to like have with someone, to be like, yeah, we've lived together, but I think maybe we should get separate apartments. Mm-hmm. That's a difficult conversation to have. But as long as you lead with love and, talk about how this ultimately, address the problems that you've had. We don't know, because we don't know what the problems are. So we really can't speak to the specific problems. But let's put it this way. When my boyfriend and I first moved in together, we very explicitly up front, he only moved in for the summer, was on my lease. We had this conversation. His lease was up. So he was like, do you want to try living together for the summer? I was like, cool. But if we're not ready, or if we're not vibing together, I'm totally fine if we get separate apartments again when my lease is up in March. We went in with this expectation. We're going to try it out for the summer. We're going to see how it goes. And if it doesn't work out and we need to get separate apartments and, we'll still be cool, we'll do that, So it just took us both being on the same page of being like, we want what is best for our relationship, even if that is us not living in the same place.
Right. We're cool for the summer. That's all I can think about. Very smart. But true. I think, not seeing each other every day. When you said that, I was like, damn, because there were times where I'm like, oh my God, I dropped 5 o'clock because I had such a nice day by myself. Mm-hmm. It's hard, especially when, I don't know, like, again, how old you are, but when you're young too, when you're like, when you kind of relinquish some of your freedoms, and you're like, sometimes I just want to be left the fuck alone. Like, I just want to vibe and do my thing and not feel like an expectation to do something. Like, I don't want to have a movie night tonight. I don't want to cuddle. Sometimes you just need your own space. But, lead with love. I like that. Lead with love.
Always lead with love. Mm-hmm. Everybody say love, But yeah, centipedes, I think they say, do we break it off before the lease starts? Which means, are they talking about breaking up? Here's the thing. You have to decide for yourself whether or not you
Yeah.
want to end this relationship or not. We can't tell you that because we don't even know what the rocky spot is.
And the lights go out again.
And that was the night the lights went out in Georgia. For those of you listening to the audio version only, Mikey's ring light just keeps cutting out.
I know. It's a sign. It's a sign.
It is a sign.
Actually, no, it's not. I don't want to put that bad juju on you. But yes,
No.
you can only make that decision.
Yeah.
And you will know. You will know.
Mm-hmm. That being said, even if I think try this, right? Have the conversation, talk about getting separate spots. Even if they're like separate spots in kind of like the same area, you know what I mean? You know, what if y'all find a duplex? You live on the upstairs, he lives in the downstairs. That way you're in separate apartments, but you each have your own spot. You can,
I like that.
You know, do things on your own, and then you can have sleepovers whenever you feel like it, right?
That's cute.
That way you at least have some separation from each other. Then y'all can work on the rocky stuff. If y'all are in the same house all the time, you don't like how he's, you know, how he showers too long, or you don't like that he doesn't push shit away, or, you know, like if y'all are so focused on the minutia of all that stuff, you won't be able to address the larger problems in your relationship that are leading to this rocky patch, right?
Exactly. And it's always the small stuff that builds. Yeah. Always.
Mm-hmm. So I think get the separate apartments and then decide whether or not you want to keep it moving or stick with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But also,
that.
If you want to write back in and let us know about this rocky spot, you know,
I know.
I will never not be mad at more. Never not be mad. I will never be mad at more details. Sorry, I almost double negatived myself into
Girl, Marianne McGonagall had had those blue sheets. Remember that?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes,
our English teacher who had like a list of 150 grammatical errors you can make. Oh,
Queen.
Is she alive?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Sometimes I want to Google her because I'm just like, I don't know if her like obituary is gonna pop up. She was so old.
Sometimes I will Google a couple of our like high school teachers on like LinkedIn and stuff.
We had the 4 years of Scandal, and I don't want to get into it, but
I want to get into this one. So were you on newspaper with me? Yes. Or you were in TV. Yeah. We were separate things. I forgot.
Okay, I did TV for a year. I did newspaper, but loosely. I was kind of like, I'll pop in, I'll send articles when I can. I forgot you did that.
Yes, because I was real big into our newspaper in high school.
You were.
I ran the newspaper in high school. Our senior year, we got a new newspaper teacher who taught journalism because the previous teacher had retired. This lady, I don't remember her name. She was kind of bonkers. And I remember being like, this girl's a little off, right? You know, she was a little off. And I mostly ran the paper, kind of like me and my co-editor. We like did our shit. We really didn't need her that much until one day in one of her English classes, she reeked of liquor and was playing Lana Del Rey music videos all class long. Mind you, I was not in school this day, so I heard all this secondhand. Turns out they found a handle of like whiskey in her car.
I remember this.
Yep. I remember found a handle of whiskey in her car. Police escorted her off the premises. It was this whole thing. This was our high school experience.
Oh my God. And her face just like that.
Mm-hmm. I see her.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm.
This one was crazy. I don't remember her name, but she was kind of bonkers.
I remember the English teacher that. Should I even get into this? I don't even know. Should I not?
Get into it, and if not, I'll cut it out. We'll see.
Okay. Well, I shouldn't say her name, right?
Yeah, no names.
Oh, okay, no names. One of the English teacher, she taught IMS 10th grade when we were 9th grade. If you're connecting the dots. But I remember when I was in the school play, and it was our tech week. So we stayed after school all day, and we're sitting there, our makeup costume. And I'm like doing my homework at the table, like while we're like setting up. And she was like one of like, I guess the chaperones or something. Like some teachers would sign up to like, stay later and assist with stuff. And she was like showing me her dating profile.
I'm screaming.
And she was like, what do you think of this guy? I'm like, hey, I'm glad that you think that, I'm glad that I'm gay. And you're like, sister, hey, like this man cute. But also
so inappropriate.
Like, I think back on that and I'm like, wow, that was like in the moment I was like, oh my gosh, like she's a cool adult. But then and like as a 27-year-old like adult now,
this
I'm like,
was
that
deeply inappropriate,
this
right?
was not okay. I was like, she was not a safe adult. But in the moment, I was like, oh my gosh, like, she's cool, but
Wait, can you say her name and I'll cut it out?
I know.
Cut it. It's cut. That's groovy. You know who was a really safe adult? And I will always think fondly on this teacher.
I already know who it is.
Victor
on 3? Oh, yes, Victor Alcindor. Yep.
That man,
I know,
was such a light, especially for like as like a young queer youth. Now, he was just like, he made sure that we read things that included queer people and talked about queer theory. And even though he was not queer himself, he like had lots of queer friends and was very in community and a big ally. He was fantastic, and I loved him. You know, I should reach out and just let him know how much he had an effect on me and my friends, because he was peak.
He was my AP lit teacher my senior year. He was also my tennis coach, and I always like said he was like a second father, because like my dad and I did build our relationship over time, but like in high school, I just really needed that like person. And again, it wasn't an inappropriate one, of course. He was like, you know, obviously, and I was also 18. So I was just like, I knew my boundaries with him, and he definitely established boundaries, but he was like, I want you to feel safe and comfortable. And like, this is your safe haven to write about whatever you need to write about. Obviously, if it's kosher, like, and you know, nothing about like self-harm or anything.
Yeah.
And you know, there's no judgments here. And it was just so important to have that. Yeah.
He was fantastic. Okay, wait. Let's talk about this. Did anyone ever call you a faggot in high school?
Middle school, I could think of like 5 people off the top of my head, and I would not mind name dropping them, but
because I like don't particularly remember anyone really calling me a faggot, except maybe
not in high school.
Who we fought in middle school in the bathroom. I smacked him with a hall pass. Well, first he pushed me up against the stall in the bathroom, and I had this hard ass, because in our middle school these hall passes were like wooden. It's like a wooden hall pass with like a key attached to it. And I remember he takes his his forearm, like puts me up against the stall, and I smacked him over the head, and you hear this loud ass crack of wood. And then after that we just stopped. That was it.
So you've told the story to me before, and I thought of something not probably a long time ago, and I meant to tell you this to like add to the lore. In 6th grade in the locker room, I don't know, this boy just loved to get his ass beat. Samuel threw him in a dumpster because he said some fucked up shit to him. I think he said something racist, and Sam was like, absolute fuck not, and just like picked him up and threw him in the dumpster.
And looking back, I do feel bad, because it was evident that he probably had like a really rocky home life. He has much said so, you know what I mean? So like, you got to give the kid grace, because I just feel so bad. But yeah, I don't remember like anyone in high school ever giving me a problem. I feel like I think humor is a good way to like deflect things off, and I was pretty good at making jokes. I feel like that's pretty much.
You were like a little bit more of like a lower profile, whereas I was on the announcements. I just had like rainbows coming out of. I think I had like dicks and rainbows coming out of my mouth
until junior year, when I started doing journalism, because then because homecoming I was in full drag, and junior year I think I came out in the paper. That's when I definitely started to come out of my shell, quite literally.
Love that. Can we do like first impressions? I know this is gonna be long, so cut as you need. I don't know if this will make it. Can we do first impressions?
Let's take a break. We're gonna get to the nasty plot. Okay. We'll do first impressions right when we get back to the break. Let's do first impressions. Would you like to go first, or I can go first?
After you, sister.
Okay. And this doesn't go just for you. I think this also goes for David. Both of you were gay. You know what I mean? Like when I look at the two of you, and then I look at like me and Corey, y'all were gay. And I always admired that. I thought there was such a courage and like just being gay. And I think that's how I live my life now, is that. And I think in high school, I was afraid to do that, right? At least until senior, senior year. I think that's when I was like, fuck it, let's be gay. You want to be gay? Let's be gay.
Right.
But definitely earlier on, I saw that was like, I of course I knew myself, right? But I was like, I just don't think I could ever do that. And I was like so afraid. And I saw you do it, just being who you were. And I was like, oh, damn, you know?
You're like, that kid is a homosexual.
Almost, but like in almost like an envious kind of way. You know, I was never like, I'm not like those gays. I was always like, I want to be like those gays.
It's so funny that you say that, because I was more like, I thought of you more as kind of like mysterious. I know it's a weird word, but like,
no mysterious.
Well, because like you were with like, I loved Fran. Like Fran was my girl, and at Liberty Middle School, she like, we pretty much came up with Nicki Minaj. Like I can remember
Nicki Minaj,
algebra, like, you know, the whiteboards they give out, like, we're gonna do like, you know, at your own tables, we're gonna, you know, we'll do like group workshop or something, and we were just writing like emoticons on the whiteboard and being like, you know, putting like LMAO, thinking like we're so like cool because we were in 8th grade. And then I just wrote like Nicki Minaj was here, and that's how she was born. But I just saw like you guys had your group, and I was like, there was something that was just so like mysterious. I wish that I had that core group, because
it's so funny,
I had that.
We didn't do anything. Like,
I know, but y'all were like tight. I don't know. Like I had that in middle school, and then coming into high school was just like everything changed. So I like kind of noticed like those friend groups. And I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't know. It just seemed that you were more, maybe a little nerdy or two, but like not in a bad way. Cause like here I am, like, you know,
oh, listen,
I embrace my nerdy shit, but
100%.
You know, I definitely I wanted to be friends with you. I just was so horrible socially, especially my first 2 years of high school. I was so weird, and I cringe every time I think about it.
I literally cringe every time I think about myself. I was like, God, I was so annoying.
Oh my God, I was so bad. I was so bad.
It was so annoying. And then it was really nice when we got to like actually hang out in college, like when me and Colin would come up and, you know, go to parties and random ass weird little frat parties and shit.
And then I gave Colin a hickey that night.
Amen. And I stole cereal out of a frat boy's
cupboard. The cereal. Oh,
one thing I'm gonna do, you bring me to a house party, I'm gonna find food. I'm finding food.
Amen.
100%.
Amen. I'm finding 100%. The bathroom, because I always have to fucking pee and I always break the seal. But I'm locating the exits, the bathroom, and the alcohol.
Amen.
But that was a good time. I remember that.
Let's get into our nasty plot. Nasty plot. This is the segment of the show where we, you know, talk about something that's pissing us off lately. We talk about things that have coming up in our life, and we give some advice on how we can fix it. I got a pretty quick one.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is about scalpers. Scalpers for Pokemon cards is kind of the big one that people are always talking about. Now it's also like scalpers for like Labubus and other blind boxes and things like that.
Right.
They're just so hard to get. The fact that when Pop Mart does restocks at like 9 p.m. that I have to be on that website refreshing, and then I have to have all my shit entered immediately to even have a chance at getting one is bonkers. I recently saw this video. There's this Pokemon scalper who's like pretty notorious, and he like dresses up as a security guard and like pays off people that are restocking the machines.
That's crazy.
And he like intimidates other people waiting for cards and stuff, and like all of this bullshit, right? He's not even a Pokemon fan. He just is a full scalper and just resells them. So it's not even for like the love of Pokemon. It's he's just scalping just to be a scalper.
Girl,
that's even more insidious, right? If you're a scalper because you really love the franchise, I still hate you because you're a scalper.
Like, period.
I still hate you. But if you're a scalper and you don't even like the franchise, straight to hell, diva. Straight to hell.
Girl.
Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I go right to jail.
How do we fix this? How do we fix scalpers? Kill them all. Death.
Yeah.
Death to all of them. No.
All of them. Wait. Okay, well that'll be after the fact, but
you are a Pokemon fan. What thoughts do you have on scalping?
Girl, I just saw a video too yesterday of, because now there's the Pokemon vending machines, which aren't on the East Coast, by the way, which is very rude.
We have in Chicago. It's right by my house.
but
but it's
someone
always
posted
sold
it
out.
now. But people are now posting videos of them and calling them out. Thank God. But it's like they're still doing their business. And someone was like, had the nerve to say, "You're too late," as they're buying the whole thing. Like, what do you mean you're too late? Like, fuck you. Honestly, limits. We need to limit how many you can get per transaction. And this is not, like you said, not just a Pokemon thing. It's the Labubus, the crying dolls, I'm sure. Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster was the big one.
Like, stop the bots, stop the mass buying, stop the count. Ban resale and transfer tickets. Like, there needs to be something, because whatever's happening now is just, it's not working.
Listen,
like I people saw those paying
fucking Cowboy Carter tickets.
Oh, how much?
They were in the thousands.
No,
for seats that were not even that good. Like Renaissance tickets were cheaper for way closer.
Are these resale?
No, this were like, it was the pre-sale and then like the Ticketmaster ones afterwards. And now I'm like, I was just looking the other day and I was like, this is just too much. I can't do this shit. I am gonna try my luck when it gets closer to the days of the concert, and I'm gonna see if I can snag something. I did want to touch on when I was at the Haneda Airport in Tokyo. There's a Pokemon vending machine that sells these exclusive Tokyo Haneda Airport Pikachu pilots and stewards and other little plushies and things. A really nice lady at a coffee shop saw the Slowpoke in my phone case, or right now it's Croagunk, but it was Slowpoke at the time.
I love your stickers, by the way.
Thanks. She saw that. It was like, oh, the vending machine. Did you know they restock at like 10 a.m., but get there early because people wait in line? And this is the thing. I got there. People were waiting in line. Everyone was super patient in the line. Got one thing, went to the back of the line. If they wanted to get a second thing, they went to the back of the line. So it wasn't like buying up the whole thing and be like, I'm still going. I'm still going. No, everybody got to do one transaction. And then if they wanted to go back and do more, they got back in the line. Mind you, there's maybe only like 10, 15 of us in the line. I was second in line. So I got my little pilot. The pilot was the only one I wanted. They had some other cute ones, but the pilot was the one I wanted. And, you know, I hate to be like, well, Japan is just so much more, but it really was like people were being civil in a way that I am not seeing at the Pokemon vending machines in America.
I know. It's brutal. And people will say too, like you go to, I don't know, I don't want to say most countries, but yeah, if you go into like Japan or something, and everyone kind of like walks on one side, walks on the other. There's no zigzagging. There's no like, I'm looking at my phone, I bump into you, and it's like, what, you know, there's,
look at Black Friday, the way Black Friday used to be, you know what I mean? Now Black Friday is all online, so it's like different. But I think it's that kind of, that evil, like capitalist mindset of like, grab, buy. Right. I need this for me, you know, instead of, especially when things like Pokemon or Labubus, it's like, we're all fans of this. We can all make sure that we can each experience, you know, all this together. Because why would you want to just get it all for yourself and not, you know, deprive that from some other people? You know, it pisses me off so much. Like, if you love something so much, wouldn't you want other people to love it? You know?
Right. Well, they're like, no, because I love money too, and that's that. But it makes me so irate because when in one of those TikToks that I watched, someone was like, well, can I just get one? And the guy was like, no.
See, he's like, that's pissing me off.
Right.
Now, like that is just like, girl. Now I'm gonna go and get management. Management's gonna come figure this out.
Girl, I was gonna say that's management is the nice way. We're gonna handle this. Yeah, so I'm gonna handle this myself.
That's my nasty plot for today. My other nasty plot that isn't a nasty plot in a way that is annoying me. It's my nasty plot as in I wanted to do something and I did it. And I think everyone should do more of this. Have more hobbies. The hobby that I'm currently focused on is my book club. I'm having a horror book club. If you're interested in joining my horror book club, if you want to read some spooky shit, hit me up on Instagram. Our first book, it's a really short book. It's called A Short Stay in Hell by Stephen L. Peck. It's like 100 pages. A guy goes to hell and hell's a giant library. It's really fun. But yeah, I wanted to, I love reading horror stuff. And I said, I want to do this with other people. So I did it. Do it. You want a hobby, baby? Get a hobby. Do the hobbies.
Right. Girl, bitch, if you want a burger, you can get a
Get a
burger. You want
burger.
a french fry?
Get a
Get a
french
french fry.
fry. Exactly. Bitch, you want a
I
burger?
or you want a burger? Anika Burgers.
Onika Burgers.
No, I started kickboxing and it's been something I wanted to do for like over a year and I did it. I felt so great that once you finally step foot into something or you finally make a transaction that gets you started in that direction, like I got my membership or I'm doing this. Once you make that first step, it's so easy. Do it.
Thing.
I love having hobbies.
This is your chance. Do the thing. Whatever thing you've been wanting to do, do the thing. Do it. Mikey, what's your nasty plot this month?
Girl, can I just say skiing?
Oh, skiing.
I don't. When did everyone learn how to ski? Like, that's what I want to know. Because I don't know if it's just
we must
people
be in
in New Jersey. Girl, it's the circle of New Jersey. Because people are going away and they're like, and someone actually sent me a snap today and actually pissed me the fuck off. I don't know. It's probably it's so irrational. But someone was like, there's no snow on the mountains or it's not snowing. I'm like, girl, it is 60 degrees. It's March. You had your winter was 3 months. You had your chance. No, don't talk to me about skiing. When did everyone learn how to ski? Because now that's all people do is go skiing. Oh, I'm going snowboarding for the weekend.
Where do they skiing. Go? Poconos?
There's some mountain. There's something in New Jersey, in like northern New Jersey, and then probably the woods of
Aspen,
Pennsylvania, Adirondacks.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know.
The Catskills. When did I miss that train? I'm kind of glad I did, but I don't know.
Wasn't there that indoor skiing thing somewhere on the turnpike? Are they going there?
Oh, yes. There is that too. There's the American Dream Mall where they can do like the indoor skiing, snowboarding. I've seen it. It's actually pretty cool, but it's way overhyped because it's like a small little thing. They have like a little lift hill.
Maybe that's what the girls are learning.
Probably, but I don't know. It's these weekend trips, and I'm like, oh my god, now it's getting warm. I'm like, girl, I'm so happy that the sun is setting at 7:30 and not at 5. I don't know.
Yep.
I just think it's weird. Let's have some fun. Go outside.
Winter lovers. I can't get them. I don't understand them. It's dark so early.
But also this kind of goes with the questions that we were getting. Is like the Valentine's Day post where people are not giving information. Like some of these questions were just missing context where it's like, we may have had our ups and downs. Like that's all I read with Valentine's Day posts. Like, girl, tell me more.
Tell me the
who
bullshit.
Cheated on who?
Tell me the bullshit. First punch?
Like who called who? Like I need to know. I need to know. Don't miss me with that vague shit. So
that's what I want to know.
I don't know.
I want to see the Valentine's post that is like, even though you fucked my best friend and your sister hates me and we broke up for 1 week when you were in Mexico and then we got back together and all of a sudden I have HPV. Like, I want to know that. Let's talk about that.
Jasper, where you at?
Let's talk about that. That's what I want to talk about.
I know. I just refilled my popcorn supply yesterday, so I just want to read. I just want to read. Yes. That's all I want to know. Those are my nasty pots. Those are my pet peeves.
Perfect. Well, Mikey, it's come to that time.
I know. It was a pleasure.
Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed this thoroughly.
Of course. I have had a blast. Do you want to let the people know where they can follow you and promote anything you have to promote?
So I do the Twitch. I stream like once a week now. I'm trying to do more, but sometimes it is hard. You can find me at MikeyyyJ. It's Mikey with 3 Y's and MikeyyyJ. That's my handle on Twitter. That's Twitch. Pokemon Legends ZI coming out soon. I definitely want to like shift gears to that once that finally drops. But that's me. You can find me there.
Period. I've been Jake. You can follow me at Crowhunk for all my personal musings. You can follow me at the Poison Touch. Oh, not at the Poison Touch. Follow me at Poison Touch Pod for all the podcast bullshit. If you are not caught up on Baby Daddies yet, the full season is already out. Go watch For the Love of Dilf season 3 and go listen to me and Mario's recaps at Baby Daddies Pod. If you have your own questions, 100% anonymous. You need advice, you got confessions, you got drama, send it on over www.poisontouch.com. Or you can call in at Never mind. Don't call in because I don't remember the phone number anymore, and no one ever calls in. So I might just throw that to the side. DM me on Instagram if you really want to. But it is anonymous on the website, so that's kind of the big one. We will catch y'all next time for some more nonsense, some bullshit. I'll catch y'all on the flip.
Mwah.
Poison Touch is produced, edited, and hosted by me, Jake Munoz. If you like what you see, give us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. It really helps us get out to more people. I'll catch you on the flip. Don't prolapse yourself in a pool this summer.